welcome. Happy Monday, y'all. Deaunte Damper stepping in for the pop-up. That's right. Big O is on a break right now, and his brother Deaunte is going to be able to hold it down. Before we begin, I need y'all to like and share, subscribe to the stream, share with your friends, share with your family, because Deaunte's on tonight. And you can learn more about what Converge has going on tonight and on later nights. But make sure you go to whereweconverge.com to see why Black media matters. Huge shout out to the amazing director himself, Mr. Eric Calligraphy. We appreciate you, brother. Thank you so much for always holding it down for all of us here at Converge. We have an amazing show today. We have the award-winning Edouardo Jordan, who's going to talk to us not just about some of his business that he has going on, but to be able to win these awards. I wish he would have brought some food today, but it was delayed. But we're going to talk about that in just a second, Eduardo. I'm going to get you in a minute. But I want to be able to just first thank one of our amazing sponsors. Make sure we thank We Rise Wines, right? Which is a Black-led, LGBTQ-owned gym in the downtown area of Seattle that champions with inclusivity and incredible winemakers, okay? You need to visit them at 1913 2nd Avenue to treat yourself to their exclusive private labeled wines. I love Rewise Wines. You don't want to know why I love them? Because they also have non-alcoholic beverages. And I ain't going to say I didn't sip a glass or two at the Space Inside event. So huge shout out to We Rise Wines, and definitely got to thank my girl over there at Coleman Commons. Can we lift up Coleman Commons? Okay, Coleman Commons is Seattle's premier waterfront cultural venue and creative event destination. Uniquely located over there in the Coleman Commons building on the waterfront near the Pioneer Square. So make sure you visit Coleman Commons today and tell them Deaunte Damper sent you. Special shout out to you, Ashley. You put on some amazing events out there. My birthday, to just say the least. And then we know my director, Eric Calligraphy, got something cooking up there at Coleman Commons too. So make sure y'all check them out, okay? Now, I have the pleasure of sitting next to award-winning chef Edouardo Jordan.
Yeah.
Welcome to the pop-up.
Thank you for having me.
How are you feeling today?
I'm good. I get to hang out and socialize and talk shop. And here we are.
Talk shop on a Monday night. And we are so happy to be here. I'm going to briefly just go over your bio. Can I do that for him, Eric? Okay. Now, Chef Edouardo Jordan is a two-time James Beard Award winner and the founder of Food and Roots, a company that celebrates the stories of the African diaspora through pantry products. Drawing on his experience in the world-renowned kitchens, he's also founded Raindrop Creamery in Seattle, where he blends Southern culinary excellence with his Pacific Northwest community. Can we please give it up for award-winning Chef Edouardo Jordan in the house, okay? Now, I'm super excited just to learn more about your journey as a Black business owner. But can we talk a little bit about little Edouardo?
Little Edouardo, my goodness. Little Edouardo was a handful. I'm originally from St. Petersburg, Florida. I was the kid in the classroom with like the ADHD or whatever they call it back then, all kind of attention deficits. I was also the kid that was gifted. And so I just needed attention. I needed to prioritize, and my preference was like distracting others because I wasn't interested in what the teachers were talking about. But once I fell in love with like school and science, like things just started to shift a little bit. So my wheel has always been moving. Like I'm always coming up. I'm a creator. I'm a mover. I'm a builder. I'm athletic. I'm all of these things, right? I'm just a busybody.
Yeah, I love that. And let me ask you this, right? Get a little deep, right? The ADHD, which ends up impacting a lot of us, Black and brown folks, right? But how did you navigate, like, saying, like, I'm not paying attention to, I'm not going to let this be the definition of who I am?
Right on. It honestly happened in the fourth grade transition into the fifth grade. I had a Black teacher, Miss McIntyre. I always tell this story, and I won't go too far, but she was one mean one. Like she got in your face and told you how it is, right? Like she was like that auntie that always kept it real. And so just one day, I think I just annoyed her enough, and she just turned over to me, and she had coffee breath, she had the bacon breath and all of that. She turned over, she's like, "You better get your act together. I'm gonna get you out of this classroom, and I'm gonna handle it the way I know how to handle it." And I was like, whoa, like, all right, let me snap it together. And then we had a talk later on, and she was like, "You are one brilliant kid," you know. So she inspired me. She also checked me and corrected me, but also said, "You have potential." So it just wasn't like throw him in the trash and get rid of him. It's like, how do I nurture him?
Right.
And I think that was one of the rude awakenings for me. It's like there's someone that has my back and is here to help, not just like reprimand. And I think like transitioning to middle school is kind of where it kind of all blossomed up. I had a couple of other administrators and teachers that really just took me under their wing. I started taking AP classes and gifted program classes where they removed me from the school and went to this accelerated program and came back. So it's just like now I was inspired because now I'm like one of 2 black kids of color in this program. I was just like 2 years ago was told that, you know, this kid's going to be a pain in the butt. So it was just a little bit of that nurturing that kind of helped me keep moving. And from there, you know, I just got inspired by like my mom, my grandmother, sports. My mom forced food on me, so I started cooking in the kitchen.
Okay, now tell me now, since your mom, since family might be watching, right?
Yeah.
What were some of them dishes?
So my mom was more of like the joy of cooking. You know that cookbook? So it's kind of American and also kind of Southern influence. My grandmother is tried and true Southern girl. She's from Cairo, Georgia. And you know, she brought the yams and the sweet potato pies and the candy yams and the grits and the smothered pork chops to the table. My mom tried to figure out how to refine it to kind of like the American palate. So I was getting both aspects of food, this whole kind of universal joy of cooking, and then grandma down home cooking. And so I just kind of dabbled and kind of followed them around the kitchen for years. Learning about food, and what really touched my heart and soul was just seeing other people come into the household and just, you know, be touched by the food and the camaraderie and the hospitality that my mom and my grandmother shared, from, you know, my friends across the street to the members of the church, the pastor coming and blessing the food, you know, Thanksgiving dinner, the family reunions, all of it just like touched me. It's like, I want to do this.
Absolutely, and that's beautiful. And I just want to just do a PSA for my family that's probably watching. Y'all don't treat me like Chef Eduardo, Mr. Jordan's family treats him. Y'all ask me to bring napkins to the family gatherings. I don't appreciate that. Sure, I might air fry.
You done got in trouble.
No, they be doing me
you put raisins in the potato salad.
No. Now you know. Let me look at the camera. Let me look at the camera. Put it up. Now y'all know I don't do that. I don't do raisins and potato salad. Now I might air fry some things that probably shouldn't be air fried.
Yeah, I hear
might have tried to air fry a lobster once.
So they got you on restriction right now. They didn't totally like rip you away from it.
No, I think I'm permanently and strictly put on napkins.
It better be some good napkins.
But let me ask you this too. When did you know that, hey, this is something that I'm going to take and make this like mine? This will be my career.
I mean, it was kind of twofold. I actually told my mom and my dad, I think when I was a junior in high school, was like, I want to go to school to cook. But I was a really good student at this point in time. I'm like, 3.8, I'm athletic and playing multiple sports, et cetera, running organizations. And it's like, they looked at me and said, boy, what you mean you want to go be a chef? You better go to college. You done worked too hard. So I actually was kind of forced or pushed to go to college. So I went to the University of Florida. I ended up graduating with dual degrees in sports management and business administration, had a minor in nutrition, left the University of Florida and started working with the Tampa Bay Devil Rays, they were called at the time, the baseball team. And it was just kind of like
You were cooking for them?
No, I was actually working in their corporate sponsorship department.
Okay.
So, you know, when the banners are moving in the back on the third base and first base and home plate, I was the person calculating those and also rotating them for the corporate sponsors and calculating their time for airtime.
Okay.
So anyhow, I was like, what am I doing? And it was just like this aha moment came about during that time of working with Tampa Bay Devil Rays. Like, I want to do something that really touches my heart, and that's when I said I want to go to culinary school for real now.
See, now that's beautiful. And I need to, and being able to be launching, like as of now, like 2 businesses right now. We are going to, especially in this climate, and being Black owned, that is such a big deal. And I want to be able to unpack more with you.
Absolutely.
And we're going to do that after these messages. You're watching The Pop-Up.
Experience the revitalized spirit of the Seattle waterfront at Coleman Commons, a premier event space where modern luxury meets local charm. Unwind in our serene wellness spaces or find inspiration browsing unique exhibits from local artists. Our space offers the perfect backdrop to connection with friends, neighbors, and community. Fit from everything from company galas to your girl's birthday party. Looking to book a space for your event? Visit ColemanCommons.com today.
Every night inside the studio, history is captured. Moments of profound vulnerability, moments of fierce accountability, and unforgettable moments of pure Black joy and creativity.
This isn't just a broadcast. The Pop-Up on Converge Media is Seattle living, breathing archive of Black excellence in urban culture. For months, you've wrapped up your night with us at 9 p.m., but the conversation is growing, and we need you at the table just a little bit earlier.
Set your reminders and join us live every weekday evening at 7 p.m. Same raw truth, just 2 hours earlier. Stream us on your phone, your TV, and everywhere you get Converge. The town square opens at 7 p.m.
Pride to me was more than just a celebration. It was an opportunity for folks to see the value in Black and brown communities, and above all else, belonging. So you see, community, that's what We Live in Color has always been about. For you to hear our hearts, see our minds, and above all else, see why Black media matters. Catch this and more on We Live in Color every Thursday on Converge Media streaming platforms. And welcome back to The Pop-Up. I am here with renowned chef Edouardo Jordan. Yeah. And before we get into that, can I just say how dope that commercial was? I mean, it's my first time actually seeing it on the big screen. You know, I just appreciate my Converge family, everyone who put that together. It's just beautiful.
Put that beautiful work in. I like it.
Yeah, I love it. And I'm loving your work too, right?
Thank you.
You got Food and Roots, and you got Raindrop Creamery. Yeah. And I really want to ask, like, how did Food and Roots get started?
Yeah, so I ran multiple restaurants here in Seattle over the years. My first restaurant was Solari Restaurant, then June Baby Restaurant, and then Lucinda Grain Bar. Inside of June Baby Restaurant, we had like a little retail shelves, or our guests technically created this retail shelves. They said, hey, how do we take some of these products home, from our cornbread to our jams and jellies to our pimento cheese? And so we started creating like this little outlet so that people can, have their dinner and then also grab some things to take home. And we called that area Food with Roots because that was the hashtag for June Baby. Mm-hmm. All of our food is built on history and the roots of our people. And the way that we create and design the foods of the company, Food with Roots, is essentially on the backbone of like June Baby, the essence of Southern and our West African influences and the Caribbean islands. So
I think that's beautiful. And I mean, and also Raindrop Creamery, right?
Yeah.
So how did that one come about?
Yeah, Raindrop, man. It was, so I have a certified kitchen where we produce all of our Food with Roots product. I was actually underutilizing the front of that space. And I've always been making ice cream for the restaurants. We've always house made them. I remember my first restaurant, Solari, we were hand churning ice cream on this little old machine, and then I upgraded it into a big boy machine that, served all the restaurants. So I always had a love affair with ice cream. One of my first jobs was making the sorbets and ice cream for the restaurant that I worked for. And I just miss like Southern ice cream. So I really wanted to bring something that resonated with me, something that can also resonate with my kids, that they can have a place that they can have their first job, that they can get excited about. And then it's also amazing for the community. So
yeah, absolutely.
That was the birth.
I mean, hearing all the businesses that you were able to open up, right? It just seems like there has to be a vision there. Like, what is your vision within the culinary world?
Well, I think my vision has always been to tell my own story. I think growing up in the culinary arts and in the field and working with some of the best restaurants in the world, I was always like one of few that looked like me in that space. And so I never had an identity. My food never resonated to the table that the people were eating at. And so for me, I'm like, I now get to tell my story. I've earned my badge so that I can speak proudly about the foods that I grow up on, that I want to tell history about. I'm learning so much other foods that I actually didn't grow up with, but my ancestors grew up with. And they were embarrassed to talk about. So now I get to bring that to the table and present,
And see, but that's so important, right? And I mean, you named maybe like 2 businesses before these 2. I think I heard 3, but that's a lot. I mean, it takes a lot to survive Seattle business, right?
In general, yes.
As a Black business owner, how do you navigate surviving that?
I mean, it's a little adapting, a little bit of modifying, a little bit growing with the changes, a little bit of waiting and figuring it all out. Because I think Seattle is ever changing, and so right now for a business owner, it's still figuring it out, because it's like, what are we navigating? The changes in minimum wage, the tip credits, how we getting support from the community and the government, like how people are spending. So we're all kind of navigating what that new business structure is. And so if you're not able to adapt and make changes, you're going to be obsolete. So that's always been a continued thing for me. What is going on? Let me analyze what's going on. Let me move with how things are changing. Let me also be above the curve to jump it before it gets to a certain way.
But I think that's all of our missions is to be great, right? But as a business owner, as folks who are probably watching this, I know some of our biggest supporters here are business owners within that same market,
Absolutely.
right? What bumps have you had to overcome?
I mean, labor has been one of the biggest issues ever. When I opened my first restaurant, I opened it with a bunch of friends, and we were eager, we all hungry to create something cool, and there was no structure. So over the years, I've learned to build structure, build a team that I can trust, understand what the business aspect looked like versus the social aspect of running a business, creating infrastructure from HR to great counting, to loyalty programs for our employees to make sure that they're happy, and check-ins and things of that nature. So, it all starts with that core to actually build a good business. And then from there, it's this community support coming out and believing in you, trusting in you, and get behind what you make.
And that's good too. And I ask a kind of a personal question too, how do you navigate your mental health through having to hold all of that?
Yes, sir. It's hard. I think even as a Black man growing up in America, we always overlook mental health. We thought if we're seeing a therapist, if we're talking about we're not feeling good, then we're kind of we're the weak link at that point in time. You're not as manly as you should be. And I realized you're gonna die early if you're not taking care of your body and your health. And so for me, I had to learn to do a balancing act. And running a restaurant, there was technically no balance before. It's you're always on 14 hours a day in some manner. But family comes first now. If I'm not spending time with my family, if I'm not reorganizing my day so I'm not just working, then I'm not taking care of myself, because those are the ones that are centering me, that allow me to be able to travel and go to the baseball games and go to the choir, all the fun things that recenter you. And that balance comes with having a business that is sustainable and built with the infrastructure that you don't have to be there 24/7. I don't want to ever do a business ever again that relies on me 24/7.
Yeah.
No way. Not healthy.
I guess that's some good advice to give to some of those folks that are out there
but
starting.
It's a grind. Starting up is going to be a grind. You're going to be putting in, endless hours for the first 3 or 4 months, and maybe even 6 months, depending on what that business is. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And I think that, do you have a village of other Black business owners that you work with?
Yeah.
And how do you support one another? And I want folks to be able to hear this specifically, because sometimes people feel so alone on their islands, right?
Right. I mean, in full transparency, I've felt alone a lot of the times. And if anyone knows my story, there's so many reasons that I felt alone. But there is a network of people that I can depend on, that I can reach out to, and they'll pick up the phone in a heartbeat, that I know that they're there. What I know we need to do, and what I did is created the Soul of Seattle a few years ago, and that was to bring the Black community together, at least the hospitality industry, that we can like support each other, that we can be aware of who's who. But we need to figure out how to bond even more, because if we can build our own village that is truly a village, that we can support each other, that we can call any one of us for like, hey, do you know the repair person? Do you know where I can go grab this? You know, who's selling the best produce right now? Who should we support? Like that's what's going to allow us not to be at our shop 24/7, because we have that support. Hey, this is a good employee. I need them to come work for you now, you know, kind of thing. So I'm still building that. I think Seattle has struggled with that. And I say Seattle has struggled with it mainly because everybody's hustling. Everyone's grinding so hard. It's hard to like step away from your own business and connect with others to make sure like they're good, because you're running right now. You're like, am I even good? Can I even go talk to someone? So.
And that just, and I just wanted to make sure that I asked you that too, because I think that most of the time you are ripping and running, and probably not able to, you know, even convey like what I need as a business owner. Maybe it could be, you know, I just don't want you to, like, I don't want people to feel discouraged. You just have to keep on going. And I think one of the things that I did want to ask you too is just like, what type of, how do you take care of yourself through that process? Like, yes, we talked about mental health, but like, what does the self-care look like for sustaining a business? Because I mean, yes, we got the family, and yes, we have those things, but being able to keep that all up, how do you do that?
Well, I think, you know, as a business owner, if you're gonna have that self-care, you're gonna have to build a team that you can believe in and trust, that you can walk away. You know, even if it's walking away for 2 or 3 hours just to take a break and go walk in the sun, that you can trust that they can run the shop while you're doing that. You know, hopefully you're able to have a team that you can take that week vacation to do a recharge, that you know, that you can get that rebalance back, that balance back. You know, that's a little bit of it. That team aspect, again, family kind of is the biggest supporter for me right now, in the sense that, you know, my son is 12 years old and he's in a lot of activities. So I have so many more excuses to not be at work, to be there to support him. You know, if I didn't have those like activities and opportunities, I probably would be working a lot more. But I'm building it where I can be supportive of my entire family, my partner and her kids and my son, that we can, you know, run away to Vashon Island on a ferry for the weekend, and I don't need to think about the shop anymore.
Right. just focus on the love. Right?
Exactly. It's a balancing act. Not everyone can do that, but you know, that's part of my business plan. You know, so you have to write that in. Like, you know, what is your daily exit to go balance out?
I think that is super, super duper important. I'm gonna put you in the hot seat right now. I'm gonna ask you some questions. About some of your favorite things.
Oh my goodness.
Some restaurants, right? So, who has the best drinks?
Ooh.
And you can't name your business.
The best drinks. Man, it has changed for me. I really love like the creativity of Cannon down here in Capitol Hill. I'm a pretty simple drinker now. Like, I try not to go too foo-foo-y. So I can do a gin and tonic and be happy. So long as you got a good variety of gin, I'm happy.
Yeah, you said gin and tonic. That's giving real down south. The gin and tonic tastes like moonshine to me, but okay.
See, that's why you got to find a good gin. That's what I'm saying.
And who has the best appetizers?
I really enjoy La Spiga, because I really have an affinity for Italian food. And again, that's that simple affair. You know, it's just, you know, prosciutto or burrata. You know, you might have a gnocchi. I just love what they do, because I do have an affinity for Italian food.
Okay, I love Italian food too. Okay, now here we go. Best desserts.
Ooh, Jesus. So that one's probably really hard for me, because honestly, I don't eat out for dessert much. I would go savory the whole meal, and then say they ask for a dessert, I'm like, well, give me a cocktail now. So that one I'm gonna have to pass because nothing is ringing to me because I haven't had enough to compare.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, that's fair. So y'all make sure, all you business owners, make sure you inbox him to invite him over to have
Tell
some
me
of
to
the
eat your dessert for real, yo. I'll be there.
Right, and I definitely want to unpack more about your business because I want to ask you about some of them flavors
No
you got.
doubt, no
but we'll
doubt.
do that after the break. We're going to take one more break, and we'll be back with the pop-up. Pride to me was more than just a celebration. It was an opportunity for folks to see the value in Black and brown communities, and above all else, belonging. So you see, community, that's what We Live in Color has always been about. For you to hear our hearts, see our minds, and above all else, see why Black media matters. Catch this and more on We Live in Color every Thursday on Converge Media streaming platforms.
Black women in Washington face more than twice the risk of syphilis in 2024, but cases are falling as we learn the facts and look out for ourselves. Yet 1 in 10 pregnant cases were among Black women, but more than half of potential congenital cases were prevented with early care. Early testing makes a difference. Get tested and protect yourself. Protect your child. Protect the community.
Discover the new heartbeat of Seattle's waterfront at Coleman Commons, the Emerald City's premier event space where culture, creativity, and community come together. Looking to book a new space for your event? Visit ColemanCommons.com today.
When our community seeks answers, we just don't report the news. We hold the space for the solutions. The Pop-Up, bringing you face-to-face with policymakers, change makers, moving your city forward. Unfiltered, unapologetic, and essential. And now, we're going to come to you a little bit earlier. Tune into The Pop-Up weeknights at 7 p.m., where culture meets Converge. And we're back on The Pop-Up with award-winning chef Edouardo Jordan. Now, I have to ask you, brother.
Yes, sir.
Let's talk about some of these flavors
My
now,
goodness.
okay?
The fun stuff.
The fun stuff. Now we're going to talk about your business.
Yeah.
What are some of the great flavors that we have?
So we have 12 flavors of ice cream that we feature, and we make everything in-house. Some of the highlights that our consumers like are double chocolate brownies. So we make a brownie mix with Food with Roots, the packaged part of the company. We mix that into our ice cream base to make a double chocolate brownie, which is pretty dang on awesome. We have Boom Boona Coffee as one of our coffee ice creams, and it's pretty spectacular. But one unique one that I really love is a lovage and peach cobbler.
Oh, that sound bomb.
So people like, why is this ice cream green? So when it comes, it's green because the lovage, and lovage is a herb that's in the celery family. So it gives like this little celery note, some citrus punch, but then you get this beautiful peach cobbler with the oat crumble throughout the ice cream. And it's just like, okay, I see what you're doing. We got a sweet corn and blackberry jam, kind of influenced by the Northwest. We got, now coming on the menu, probably next week, we got a watermelon rind sorbet. So dairy-free, it's built with pickled watermelon rinds that we all do in the South, watermelon juice, and made into a beautiful sorbet and mixed together. I think that was going to be really special and great for summertime, just cooling us down.
That sounds good. Now, me and Eric was already preparing ourselves because we thought we was going to get some ice cream tonight, but it looks like we ain't getting it.
We had some time changes.
We had to move
but I
some
got
things
you.
around. Right. So we're
you.
going to check that out. And I mean, just being able to hear more of your story. I know we've all seen each other in passing, but just to know more of your story and the things that you've overcome. I'm actually 2 questions.
Yeah.
Reflecting on your life, what would you say to your younger self?
Keep your head up and keep striding. Like as a young man, you're gonna go through obstacles, and I think all of those obstacles are gonna shape who you are. They're gonna build the thick skin and the thick hair to keep on navigating through the cold and through the hard times. But no matter what you do, just keep your head up and keep marching.
Yeah, absolutely. Okay, I got a new one, Eric. I just came up with this one. So, and what message would you give to your future self?
Future self.
And it can't be the same thing you just said.
I mean, literally, that's kind of how I am and always been. But it's family first and keep focusing. Know loyalty, know what loyalty looks like, and find balance.
Absolutely. And last question.
Yes, sir.
Because we talked a lot about family before. What message do you want to give to your family?
Oh my goodness. My family, lead by example. It's hard out here. Make mistakes, make minimal mistakes, but learn from your mistakes.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely. I think that's beautiful. Now, we also got to give community a call to action.
No doubt.
So we need folks to be picking up some of these flavors.
You
I
gotta
need
come
to
get some ice
right,
cream.
Look in that camera and let people know where they can get that ice cream.
So one, you can find us at Raindrop Creamery right here in Ravenna, so North Seattle. We're at 2120 Northeast 65th Street. You can find us on social media at Raindrop Creamery. We also have our packaged goods company, Food with Roots. We can send directly to you on via the mail or UPS or whomever is out there, or you can come and pick up at the shop. We also have a retail space where you can come shop for our pimento cheese, our cornbread, our brownie mix, spices, all those good things.
Yeah, see, that is good. Can we please clap it up? Because I think I want some ice cream.
Yes, sir. Rain or shine, ice cream all the
Right.
time.
Now, before we get out of here, we did have one more thing to show community. Eric, can we please pull that up, please? That D3, please. Okay, That's right. That's the RUD Initiative. They're actually going to be hosting their 5th annual Black Business Leadership Conference Saturday, August 15th, this Saturday. That's at the University of Washington South Hub in Seattle. Now, it's started by our brother, Rudy Rudd of Ezel's Chicken. The conference is equipped with Black business owners with strategies and talking about relationships and resources that's needed to be able to be built to sustain their businesses. Please make sure you check them out. And we also want to let y'all know, why not donate to Converge? Why not donate to this family? Make sure y'all check out we don't have the QR code, so I think I'm just gonna say there it go. Donate to Converge today. Well, it's so great for y'all to know why Black media matters, but even $1 or $5 or I don't know $5,000 today can also keep us elevating and making sure that we're putting paint where it ain't. So make sure y'all donate to Converge today. And don't forget, you can also look and buy a We Love in Color shirt. I'm talking about a We Live in Color shirt. They're beautiful shirts. Beautiful. Oh, look at me.
I love it.
I don't know who did that, but okay. Make sure, move it again as I'm talking. Yes,
on your mic.
We Live in Color. The 100th episode is coming up, and we want everybody with a We Live in Color t-shirt on for our 100th episode. We got some big announcements coming with that very soon. I don't know who put that icon there, but that is so funny.
I love it.
It is so great to be here in the studio with all this love. Chef Jordan, thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
We appreciate you coming on.
Yeah.
Can't wait. Now, the next time you come up in here, we ain't got no
I
ice
better
cream.
have some pints, huh?
Right.
Let's go.
Right. I'm going to bring the napkins.
No doubt.
You know what I mean? So you make sure you bring the ice cream.
Napkin duty, ice cream duty.
Okay. Thank you so much for coming
Absolutely,
on.
my
And I want to
brother.
thank you, community, for tuning in to the pop-up every night at 7 p.m. Make sure y'all check us out tomorrow night. And remember, walk with love, but also walk with that purpose. Y'all have a great night.